Welcome to Adjust Your Mirrors, the #1 empowerment podcast show on the planet. Are you in need of motivation? Are you ready to take your personal and professional life to the next level? Then you've come to the right place. Adjust Your Mirrors. This is the podcast that's devoted to helping you see more clearly by making small adjustments. And now, here's your host, Reginald C. Allen.
Hey. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Adjust Your Mirrors. I am your host, Reginald C. Allen. Just thanking all of you again. Well, it's 2021 and I want to say Happy New Year. New Year to you, and you. It's been a long time, but I'm back. Family, let's talk about it. Listen, I hope you're ready for 2021 because this is the thing that we're not going to do. In 2021, we don't need vision boards. We don't need any New Year's resolutions. Now, let me help you. I'm not saying we're not going to create new goals and new objectives. I'm not saying that, but family, look, listen, stop, check it out. No vision boards, no New Year's resolutions. It's all about consistency. We know what God has called us to do. We have the plan. Now we just have to be consistent and we have to keep on pushing, baby. You know, I couldn't get out of here without singing. So listen. It's been a long time. I'm going to be honest, So I'm going to talk a little bit about it because 2020 has created a lot of different challenges. Could you agree? We were in church. I would say, look to your neighbor and say, neighbor, 2020 has been rough, right? But however, we can continue to believe and trust in God and know that we will make it. All right. So what am I going to talk about today? What's going to be the first lesson of today? Write this down. We need today to learn how to fly again. All right. We always hear the old term, what comes up, what must come down. But there's nothing wrong with going up. But it's when we come down. It's during that season, that down season, where we start getting discouraged. We start looking around and questioning, do I really have what it takes to accomplish my goals? 2020 brought many challenges. Okay, so let me be honest. 2020, I'm just going to be very transparent, okay? 2020, my mom, she had cancer. 2020, I lost my father. 2020, I lost my uncle. Many of you have gone through the same exact thing in 2020. But that does not mean that 2020 can stop us. It's not going to stop us, right? Ain't no stopping us, no stopping. I don't know the rest of the words, but you know what I'm saying. 2020 is not going to stop us. So let's get right back into the message. Okay, so what I want to talk about today is how do we learn how to fly? 2020 kind of clipped our wings. We got discouraged. We're sitting down on the ground and we're kind of like my man Droopy. Oh, I don't know what to do. Why? Because we're in the valley. We're in the season of the valley. But see, this is what we have to understand. We're all going to go through a season where everything is clicking. We're flying. We're motivated. We feel like we can accomplish the world. We can overcome any obstacles in our life. It's during that time where we begin to make those promises to ourselves. Like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I got this. It's during that time where we're truly motivated. And we need to understand that motivation is central to our creativity. When you're motivated, you can, man, let me tell you. There's been a couple of times where, I'll go back and I'll look at some of the papers that I've written during my master's program. When I was in my master's program, I would go back and look at those papers and I'm like, wow, I wrote that? Man, I cannot believe that I wrote that. Why? Because it was just a masterpiece, if I have to say. But it was only good because I was motivated to complete that program. When you're not motivated to do anything, do you think you're going to put your best effort out there? Now I'm going to flip that. I've been working on this book forever. Okay. I got to finish this book. I think I said this last year, but this is going to be the year where I finish this book. But I remember a season where I didn't have a job. Everything was just blurry and blah, blah, blah. And I remember my wife said, you know what, baby, look, I got it. I'm going to hold you down. I'm going to work. You go ahead and finish that book. And while most people would say, oh man, go ahead, that's a perfect opportunity, it was hard for me to finish the book because there was no creativity there. I was not motivated. I was depressed. I was feeling, like I couldn't accomplish anything. And as a result, I couldn't write anything. So we got to understand, when we're motivated, we feel powerful, enlightened, creative, and happy. And that's a good place to be. But family, life is all about balance. We weren't designed to live in a constant state of being emotionally high, which is why you got to be careful of those motivational speakers that always tell you, oh, I'm happy all the time. Oh, I'm glad all the time. Nothing discourages me. That's a lie, bruh. That's a lie, sis. Right? Now, I'm not saying that you have to be, oh, I'm sad all the time. I'm feeling sad and blue. No, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying life is all about balance. We're going to have some ups and we're going to have some downs, Can't rely on just being emotionally high all the time. Outkast used to have this song, you need to get up, get out, and get something. Don't spend all your days trying to get high. Can't spend all your days just trying to search for this emotional high. Life is about balance. So what we have to learn how to do is navigate during those times when we're not motivated. And we have to be careful, okay? Because when we become motivated, most of us are encouraged to set these particular goals, okay? They'll say, hey, man, set these goals. I know you're feeling kind of sad and blue, but I need you to set goals. But listen, if you're not motivated, you could be setting the wrong goals, okay? We're encouraged to push harder during those seasons when we're feeling low and feeling blue. But if you're not motivated, you could be pushing harder in the wrong direction. When we're not motivated, we're always encouraged to create accountability. But what if we're linking up with the wrong people? So we got to be careful because these strategies can be very ineffective when we're not motivated. So we have to learn how to carry our mountaintop experience down to the valley. So listen, family, got two principles that's going to help us out. 2020 brought many challenges, clipped our wings. Many of us was flying high, flying like an eagle, right? But now, first couple of days of 2021, we're sitting around like, okay, how do I fly again? I forgot how to fly. What do I need to do? Your boy's going to help you. Number one, how do we fly again? Write this down. We need to identify what or who clipped our wings. In other words, we need to have self-reflection. We need to be honest with ourselves. How come you stopped flying? What happened? Well, I wasn't studying as much. I wasn't reading. I just wasn't in tune with what it was God was wanting me to do. You got to be honest with yourself. I was spending too much time on the internet, man. I was surfing, watching Facebook, man. Just not motivated, just clearly spending useless time on things that don't matter, things that's not going to get me closer to accomplishing my goals. But this can only happen when you're honest with yourself. The whole purpose of Adjust Your Mirrors is what? Looking in the mirror and beginning to make some adjustments in your life so you can accomplish those things that God wants you to accomplish. But you can never accomplish that, family, if we don't identify with what or who is interfering or who clipped our wings. So we're going to self-reflect. And number 2, and I'm out of here, this is simple. Because listen, family, we have persevered in 2020. 2020 has been rough, right? But even though it was rough, we did not grow weary. But there's one thing that we must do in order to get back on track. We have to return back to our first love. We have to. Consider how far we've fallen. Let's go back to doing the things that we enjoy doing. I don't know what that is. That's something that you have to, again, self-reflect and say, okay, what got in the way? Who got in the way? And why am I not doing the things that I once loved to do? As I said earlier, family, this year, we don't need any more vision boards. I'm not speaking out against those, but listen, family, listen, we've been in this self-help, this motivational thing for a long time. At this point, we're above vision boards, okay? Okay, the vision boards are good for beginners. We understand all that. We don't need any more New Year's resolutions. This year, in order for us to continue to fly, and when we land, still stay motivated during that season of uncertainty, we need consistency. And I'm speaking to myself, family, because I have to be honest. 2020, I have not been consistent at all. And I can give you all kind of excuses, and they sound good. I moved to Phoenix, so that was tough. My mother got cancer. My father died. My uncle died. It's been a very rough year. We still have to remain consistent, even though we're flying high and we're flying with the eagles. When we land, because we all know what comes up is going to come down. When we land, we have to learn how to take what we learned during that mountaintop experience and bring it to the valley and walk it out. Now walk it out. So family, 2021, year of consistency. I want to encourage everyone, let everyone know I'm back. Continue to pray for me because listen, I never portray to have all the answers, okay? I never portray to be happy all the time. Man, sometimes I'm mad, right? But we're walking this thing out. So with that being said, family, Happy New Year. And until next time, be empowered.
Thank you for listening to the Adjust Your Mirrors podcast with Reginald C. Allen. Be sure to visit the Adjust Your Mirrors private Facebook group and don't forget to follow Reginald on Twitter at Reginald C. Allen. Please remember, when you're listening on iTunes, leave us a 5-star rating review. Until next time, be empowered.